Greetings, friends, and welcome to the woods. Today I want to talk to you specifically about the expression, the term that I hear a lot of people use, low vibration, as opposed to high vibration. Now, there's some misunderstanding about what low vibration actually is. I want to clear it up for you. And it's understandable why there would be some confusion about that, because the English language is notoriously bereft of words that describe the spiritual experience. So in order for me to convey understanding that in a more adequate language would take one word, I have to do 10-15 minutes of explanation. Hopefully this one won't take that long, but I have seen people held hostage by the requirement of having to be high vibe, high vibration, high vibe, where they're told, oh, you can't talk about that. You can't, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to think about that. I just want to talk about nice things, only nice things, things I think are nice. Anything else, it's just low vibration. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna communicate that way. It reminds me of when psychologists told us, they did studies that indicate that when you smile, you automatically feel better. And so they were telling all of us, if you're depressed, if you're unhappy, force yourself to smile, and that will end your depression. You'll feel so much better. And so there were people who tried that. I forced myself to smile when I was feeling really bad. And the result was I felt much, much worse. I wasn't being authentic to myself. I was schooling my expression to a certain therapy that it doesn't work. It has the opposite effect. Yes, if you smile, you're going to feel better, usually because when you're smiling, you're feeling good. It works if you find a way to turn your hard emotions around. People have been known in the midst of sadness and sorrow and unhappiness. People have been known to find levity, to step back from it a moment and to smile for a moment, and the mood will lift. But that's completely different from thinking that the mechanical physiology of a smile can reverse the reaction to an energy experience. So let's talk about high vibe. And let me put it into context for you, why low vibration is a problem. It isn't for everyone. If you're somebody who doesn't facilitate the energy movement through your body, the spiritual energy movement through your body, if you're not working on yourself spiritually, then I hate to tell you this, but your vote doesn't count as much. It's as if the people who have an interest, a stake in how the universe runs, in the creation of their reality, have more stock in the universe than those who do not. If you're going along with someone else's narrative, if someone else's creation, with somebody else's take on reality, if you're supporting someone else's reality, not what you choose, what you want, what you consciously have decided on, then basically they've got your stake, they've got your vote, they've got your portion of control. You've given it up to them, whether it's your somebody in your family, whether it's your boss, whether it's your pastor, whoever it is that you're delegating your vote to, your share to, they've got it, they've got your power, and they're using it. But if you're somebody who's called it back to yourself, you're taking responsibility for yourself, essence is what that is, for the creation of your life. And you are making that decision about how you want to go forward, then your mood, your thoughts, your focus is going to count for more. The weather is going to shift according to your mood. The one of you that would take 100 or 1,000 people to override. Because those 100 or 1,000 people have given their vitality, their power away to someone else to decide what's happening in their life, what their life is, what reality is. And you have kept yours. You've taken responsibility for yours. So for you, there's more power. For you have a greater stake in what your reality is going to be. And that's why it's important for some to stay high vibe. If you don't have your own spiritual power, if you're not working on your spirit, if you're not learning how to move energy through you and out into the world to make things happen, it's not as much of a problem, and you're really not going to see as much of an influence. But if you're somebody who's working on your spirituality and you're processing some very negative energy, and you couple it with some very unfortunate thoughts, visions, ideas, narratives, you can cause problems for yourself and for others because you're holding a big stake in things. And that's why we want to keep things high vibe. Now, high vibe is not, it's not specifically talking only about good things. It's not that. If you talk about, oh, I had a bad day, I broke something that I didn't want to, I fell down, sharing things like that, having those experiences, it doesn't have to be low vibe. Turning to a friend and saying, I need your help with something, I'm having a difficulty with something, that's not being low vibe. Low vibe is when you're running energy behind it. Low vibe is when you're taking your mood down, your awareness, your consciousness down. You're shifting it into downgrading it into reality being a certain way, a way where things don't work, where bad things happen, where there's no solution, where you can't fix anything. That's low vibe. You're running energy into having the reality around you being difficult, harsh, challenging, hurtful, dark, in a way that you can't understand or see. It's confusing. People can do that. I've done that. That's how you learn. You learn by, wisdom comes from experience. Experience comes from making bad decisions and then having to rectify them. So, with a situation where you have people saying, you can't talk about anything that's not wonderful because low vibration. It prevents people from solving their problems. One of the best ways to solve a problem is to go to your friends, to go to someone who's been through a situation that you're trying to resolve and say, hey, this is happening to me and I don't like it. How did you solve it? Or hey, this is happening to me. Has this ever happened? Do you have any ideas on what I can do? And with my friends, when I do that, I have wonderful advice that I get, wonderful solutions, wonderful possibilities. And if that friend can't find a solution directly for me, they can point out who can. We help each other. This is how you make your life work. And if I can't talk about anything challenging to me because that is introducing low vibe into the conversation and we can't have low vibe and it's so terrible and you have to go away and I never want to see you again because you're low vibe, it ends our ability to solve problems and make our lives wonderful. So, sure, talk about different things, different, difficult, horrible things, situations you're in, the world's in. Go ahead and talk about it. Go ahead and share it with an eye to finding a solution and knowing you can find a solution and knowing there's something you can do about it. And if there's not anything you can do about it now, there's something you're going to be able to do about it later. If it comes up and you can feel the energy drop, step back and take a moment and say, hey, let's turn this around. Let's bring it back up. Let's put some perspective on this. Move the energy back up. You can do that. You know what feeling good, you know what finding solutions feel like. Bring that energy through of finding a solution, of the spirit. It's more powerful than karma. It's more powerful than matter. It's more powerful than the consensual reality. It is. Bring that energy up. Align with source. Bring that energy up. Bring it through. And if the solution isn't there immediately, it will be. It will be. Shift vibration. Because the more powerful you become, the more responsible you need to be, not just for your sake, but for your neighbors, for your friends, for your family. And welcome to the woods.